I don't want to be doing this. Everybody's gonna look at me like, what a moron, dude. But we do it. I'm used to being a moron. So I've come to this conclusion in my life that I have proceeded to gain a lot of weight in my life, and then I've lost a lot of weight. And now I said, you know what's a great idea? Let's gain that weight back so then we can lose it together. Because why would you want to lose weight without anybody applauding you? And that's what I was doing, and I didn't like it. So now I gained it back, so now we can lose the weight and I can be applauded. And everybody can say, he's really good at losing weight. I don't know what this sounds like. I'd assume it sounds terrible. So I'm just gonna do a brief little thing here. I clocked in. I clocked in today at 290, okay? A little less without clothes, but that's for only a few select people. If you want to be one of those few select people, DM me. I recently was down to 235. And I'm like, wow, I really like being thinner than this. I recently was supposed to do a half marathon, my first half marathon back in April. I proceeded to get mono, which has killed everything. So the point of this is we're gonna lose some weight. And I'm gonna teach all of you how I'm going to do it. And you should just sit there at that computer, eat your food while you watch, and say, I'm living vicariously through you. Or you could like join in. Oh my God, there's a guy in this bush. But basically, the point is, I'm gonna show you or give you my habits. They're unhealthy, but they work. That's probably not what I should say. I'm gonna show you my habits. They're healthy, cause they work. The first thing, I'm in a spiral right now, okay? Everybody that, like some people are in the habit of gaining weight, I'm in that habit right now. And if you want to lose weight when you're gaining weight, it's really hard because losing is like the opposite of what you're doing. You're actually gaining, and you should probably stop gaining. So you have to stop the gaining to then proceed to lose. Tip number one is you gotta stop the bleeding. And this is the toughest part. The toughest part of all of this is to start. For all you weirdos that pronounce it, start. You gotta stop the bleeding. You gotta stop the gains. Unless you're trying to gain. Keep it up, buddy. Keep gaining. Step one, stop the bleeding. Now it's gonna be tough. Truck. Beep, beep for me. Honk, honk. That's what I do when I grab. You gotta stop the bleeding. And it's very, very tough. Because it's like, you're in a spiral of eating bad, right? So you go to your fast foods, and this stuff is so addictive. Those of you that are doing it, no. You go 2 days without eating that fast food, your blood starts itching for it. You're like, I need some of that good grease injected right into my veins. You don't. You shouldn't. But I want it. Give me that Taco Bell, dude. They got a new, that cheesy Crunchwrap Supreme. Gotta get it. No, you don't. Maybe I do. And this is why we're in this situation. So my first thing that I'm gonna do to stop the bleeding, to stop the bleeding, is I'm just gonna cut. I'm just gonna stop. I'm gonna take a couple days to reset, right? We're not gonna eat bad. We're not gonna eat much. Some could say it's fasting. Yeah, that's because it is. So we're gonna stop the bleeding. I'm scared. Now I'm like in it. There's gonna be people running, they're gonna say, he's fat. And that is another thing you gotta stop. Overthink. Where does wind come from and why does it never stop? That's the real question. Where were we? Oh yeah, step one. We're still in step one, really? You gotta stop the bleeding. And the bleeding is your addiction, your tendency to keep eating, and like your hunger cues are all messed up. You think you're hungry, you're not, right? We think like, oh, my tummy's growling. It doesn't need food. So the first few days, what I want to do, or what I like to do, or what I'm going to do, is eat substantially less. We're gonna eat substantially less. The reason is I want to reset my hunger cues, and I want to get rid of this addiction that my veins feel. Like all the sugar, gotta cut that out of the diet for now. We gotta cut the fast food for sure, and try to not eat out for just like a week, and cut back substantially just to reset my hunger cues so I can start to figure out when I'm actually hungry. Because no matter what you do, if you don't change the eating habits, you're not gonna have any success or feel good. Like the thing is, the McDonald's, right? That stuff, it makes me feel bad. Like everybody knows it makes you feel bad. You eat it, you're tired. You shouldn't be tired, but you're tired. And then you're like, oh, I'll take a nap after my McDonald's. It's not good. It's a very bad spiral. It makes you feel bad about yourself. And when you feel bad about yourself, you don't want to work out. You just want to eat more because I'll eat away the sadness. And that's where I'm at. I'm sad and I'm eating away my sadness. Let's not be sad. Together. Don't do it. Don't jump. Don't jump. Don't jump, man. Don't do it. Don't do it. Another part of stopping the bleeding is you got to stop procrastinating here. Because there's so many times that it's like if you do not stop eating the fast food or the sugar or the cookies right now for just a few days to like realign, rethink, it's not gonna stop. And that's a tough part. That's a tough thing to realize. You're like, well, it's just today. Like, oh, I'll just, like if you have it in your house, whatever, just get rid of it. Eat it. What do I care? Start tomorrow. But you actually have to start at some point and stop and cut those out because you're gonna want it and you're going to keep eating it because even when you say, oh, I'm starting now, you're not. The procrastination of like tomorrow always exists. So basically, you want to start. You need to actually start, and you need to not push it back, and you need to fully commit to it. And the most important things right now, and probably the toughest thing, 1,000 times tougher than anything else, is starting, because it's so easy to just say tomorrow, and it's very, very hard. It's like when I say cut and stop, like just to like reset your eating habits or your tendencies or your food stomach going, I'm hungry. It says I'm hungry right now, I'm not. And that's, it's like an actual fight. It's going to tell you you're hungry. You're going to feel like you actually need food. And you're probably gonna get hangry and say, I need it. And you're gonna make bad decisions in those moments. You just need to work to get better at those. And the quicker you can reset your tendencies, the quicker it'll be before you start seeing progress, or quicker to progress. Quick to progress. It's windy. You need to get the progress. Progress. This guy coming. The amount of people that feel the need to beep when you have a camera in your hand is way too high. Just a person filming myself for OnlyFans. Maybe. Road work ahead. I sure hope it does. Sidewalk closed, guys. Anyway, what was I gonna say? That man is like Mr. Muscles, dude. One day I'm gonna be like that. Yeah, then you'll love me. Once you finish your, once you get this diet sorted or whatever, which is very, very tough, the next thing, oh, you're gonna love this one. It's exercise. You never heard this in your life. Well, if they don't tell you, it's like, oh, you just need diet and exercise. you're gonna start. You can start exercising any way you want. You can do a little walk. You can lift some weights. You have to be consistent with it, and it's going to hurt. The first week or more of consistent exercise, even after your first walk, if you walk like, say, oh, I barely walk, I'm gonna walk 3 miles or something instead, just to get started, or a mile, and you never do it, it's gonna hurt. You're gonna feel exhausted during it. Your calves and like your shins and all this are gonna like cramp up on you. It's gonna hurt. And you're gonna wake up tomorrow and it's gonna hurt. The thing here is you don't just sit and rest because of the pain. You get up and you do it again. Because you gotta train your muscles and get them used to the motion. And once you do that, it'll eventually stop hurting in a couple weeks. And then you're gonna be able to start pushing yourself a little more and more. You think you're doing something wrong? No, it's supposed to hurt. If it was easy, everybody would be thin. But it ain't. I wish it was. I really wish it was. I had Lyme disease once. Quickest way to lose weight, for sure. So if you want a shortcut, find a tick. Find out what ticks you and make sure it has Lyme disease. That's how you do it, guys. I should probably be watching the road when I walk across it. But if I got hit, that's views, baby. That's views. It's gonna be a long process. It's a lot shorter than you think it is, but it's a lot longer than you want it to be. So we're looking to just stop the bleeding, and we're starting the exercise. And then, in about a week or so, we'll be looking at figuring out how to improve. It's also crazy because like the number one thing you're gonna think, or I thought when I started, was being so self-conscious. Like people judging you just walking. And I'm literally filming myself like a moron. Embrace it, I guess. Yeah, I am a moron. So what? At least I'm gonna be fit and sexy. You'll see. Probably won't. Probably won't at all. I'll probably give up. Just like you. But maybe we'll make it together. I believe. Not really, but I do. I just hate this process of starting. It's terrible. But right now, we're looking to just stop the game. Unless you're trying to game. Keep it up, babe. We're looking to stop this gaining right now, because next week, we can start pushing more to losing. And if you want to lose, you gotta stop the game. Also, big tip, take a photo. Did I even press record? Oh yeah, I did, okay.